Hey everybody, welcome to the Impact Radio Show.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all, it is me, your African gentleman, Reverend J Frederick, and with always Miss Doing Talk herself.
I'm in here, y'all. I'm half producing, half hosting, half doing other things, but I'm in here.
Yes, we're definitely coming off of the Easter hangover. It has been an exciting weekend. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, do us a favor. Call us, and let us know how you celebrated this resurrection weekend. 904-766-9285. We had a real fun time. We had a egg hunt over at with King of Do's initiative group. We had some people come in at the last minute. But they left with some eggs. They left with a couple golden eggs, so they were happy.
Yay.
And we moved into our Good Friday service where we were talking about eulogizing the old man. Most important funeral you will ever go to, putting the old man to death.
Man, there were so many egg hunts this weekend.
Yes.
But we really enjoyed the fellowship that we had on Good Friday, and we had an opportunity to do some reconciliation.
Yes.
So that was great. And then we continued to party, had some good lamb on Easter Sunday.
Yes, made some lamb.
It was a good weekend for us, definitely.
Yes. For those of you who aren't familiar with the tradition of cooking the lamb, you're supposed to take in that bitter herb first, so you understand how bitter the sin is. So when you taste that sweet, savory lamb, you appreciate how good the grace is that was afforded you by the lamb. And they really, really appreciated the grace because they tore the lamb up.
Just like I did. But before we get too far into it, CJ, look, we've got to remind the people to do business with one of the oldest Black-owned, female-led media companies in America, now more than ever. You guys are listening. You see Fox News and the Dominion scandal and all this other stuff. Now more than ever, it's important for you to support independent and locally owned media. Weekly subscriptions are available. They're still available. They will send a print, paper to your home if you prefer print, or you can get it in your inbox. TheFloridaStar.com, TheFloridaStar.com, TheFloridaStar.com. CJ also teased out and mentioned, for those of you getting ready for a quiet night inside, feel free to give us a call. Up until 8:50. Take your answer off the air. The number is 904-766-3410. CJ.
Yes.
Give us a little teaser of the moment that we'll be listening to today.
I think I'm gonna, let everybody know what it really is like to put that old man to death.
Okay.
We're gonna revisit what that looked like, because a lot of people, I think, still keep that old person on life support.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when stuff get a little rocky and they really want to dig in and pull on that flesh. But he's supposed to be dead. He's not supposed to still be lurking around. As the scripture said in Colossians 3:5, you got to put it all to death. So it's gonna be interesting.
It is going to be an interesting conversation. So you mean you trying to tell us that even though we're not in the Lenten season, we're supposed to still have these sacrifices?
Yes, that is the whole point of sanctification. I know. Sanctification is always the hardest part because, as the song said, that's the part where you got to try to stay safe, where,
yes.
people cutting you off, your enemies keep coming back into your life, and people keep trying you against on a daily basis, and you still trying to
and that one lady with the messed up wig that don't talk to you in church actually started trying to talk to you again.
Mm-hmm.
And now you like, why her messed up wig having stuff trying to have a conversation with me now all of a sudden.
And then of course she come with a bit of tea. Well, baby, I heard you was all right, but I've been hearing things.
Well, go ahead and help us out there, Reverend CJ. But we can do a quick news break, and then we have a taped interview with the community leader for Blue Zones Jacksonville, Miss Nicole Hamm. I got an opportunity to speak with her earlier in the week. They got a couple of things coming up, some ways for people to get involved. And speaking of old man, the Blue Zones Project is taking the habits from people who live in areas where the average old person is like 100 plus. All the things, the types of food they eat, the types of life they live, the community connections that they have. They're taking all of these great learned aspects from these, highly functional communities, this great healthy environment for aging, and trying to bring it to Jacksonville. So it's going to be interesting to hear what this young lady has to say. They've got a lunch and learn event coming up, and they're sponsored by people like Baptist and Mayo and the Jesse Ball DuPont Fund and Florida Blue. So all the people who already care for your health are a part of this project. So you guys can tune in.
We can't all have the sugars, y'all.
Oh, no.
We can't all have the sugars.
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody can't have the cow.
The thing is, right, a convenience store is not convenient.
Yeah, it's not. It's overpriced.
And it's gonna kill you.
Not to say that the pickle pig feet ain't responsible for a few heart
Let's
attacks.
jump into the news break for the members of the Victory Station. Go ahead and read this first top headline.
So, voting Black Democrats and blind faith. What causes citizens to lose faith and their motivation to cast vote?
Yeah, we have an election coming up.
Yes,
definitely coming up this in May, and it is an internal election. So we would technically not internal. It's like off. It's not one of those good presidential elections. So
no, everybody had the races came close. Everybody got a runoff and get reelected.
We're anticipating it still be low voter turnout. So please, now is the time to make your plan to be prepared to vote in May. Early voting is starting soon. You can vote early, get it done with. Anytime you pass the library, just go on, get it done with.
Listen, I've been wanting to read this headline ever since I seen the issue of the Florida Star. Donald Trump arrested. Ex-president is officially accused of felony.
Yes.
Hallelujah! He finally got arrested.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
As he headed to the 15th floor courtroom at 100th on the street downtown, Trump joined the nearly 8,000 other nonviolent felony defenders who have been arraigned in Manhattan so far in 2023.
Yes, the ex-president historically has now been indicted and arraigned and now is an accused felon. This is the type of headlines that you can see on the Florida Star. You're not going to see these headlines in the Times Union. The Times Union right now is dealing with a writer's situation. They're not paying their writers' room well, so they're suffering because they're not an independent media news situation like the Florida Star. But you guys are ready to support and get great news headlines like
Tulsa Race Massacre survivors officially granted Ghanaian citizenship.
So one of the 108-year-old survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre, that is Black Wall Street that everybody was talking about not too long ago over in Oklahoma, a survivor of that massacre has now got her Ghanaian citizenship. And it's a beautiful photo of her. It looks like a family member with her dressed in their African clothes, as me and the African gentlemen typically are. Smiling and excited to be a part of their Ghanaian citizenship, being new Ghanaian citizens. So we're so happy to see them there. I'll do this message because the last time you read this young lady's name, you wanted to say cheeseburger.
So bad.
Chandra Cheeseborough Invitational Track and Field Meet. And there's some beautiful photos of women and men supporting the sports community here in Jacksonville. It is a perfect afternoon for this track meet. The Reebok boys win. Her track meet, Rutland was leading, and the Sandalwood girls for this title on the track field. Guys, come and check out some of the stats, get a chance to see some pictures of what happened. And I'll leave it at this. Trailblazers of Central Florida's Black Nurses Association of Florida. They had a beautiful event. We all know the disparity in healthcare for Black people, but unfortunately, all those people that are part of the healthcare system do not care as much. But it's so nice. I know I feel healthy and safe when I see a Black nurse. And so I just want to say to all the Black nurses, thank you so very much. And I'm happy that they had an opportunity to be celebrated in Central Florida. We are up against an ad break. Yes. When we come back, you guys will hear a brief intro from me, and then you'll hear a taped interview from the leader of the Blue Zones Project here in Jacksonville that you don't want to miss.
We'll be back.
Hey, welcome back to the Impact Radio Show presented by the Florida Star. Guys, I don't want to take any more of your time. I took a break from what I normally do during the day, which is be outside digging in the earth, to speak with this young lady about the Blue Zones Project and what they have coming to Jacksonville. Hey, Nicole, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. You know how I do. I'm outside. Usually during the daytime, I am farming or doing a lot of gardening. So this week has been lovely with the rain, and I'm just taking a moment from being outside. But welcome to the Impact Radio Show. Thanks for being on.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So, Nicole, how did you get involved with Blue Zones? What is Blue Zones? What should we know?
Those are great questions. So starting at the very beginning, Blue Zones is a community-led, community-driven, citywide health project, really focused on improving the longevity outcomes in our most vulnerable communities. And I think that it's fair enough to say that we know where those are, right? So we are specifically focused in zip codes 32206, 32208, 32209, 32210, and 32244. So you can think about it as east, northwest, and west side of Jacksonville. But we really want to ensure that those communities specifically have an opportunity to live their very best, very long life. And what we do know is that where you live, where you work, and where you play have a huge determinant on your longevity, right? I think we can look at the statistics of knowing that out in Ortega, you can have an average life expectancy well into your 80s. But if you look at Durkeeville, you're looking at early 70s. Right. And they're both communities in Jacksonville that just happen to be have different areas. So Blue Zones really looks at people, places, and policy to create a culture and environment where well-being is easy and it's natural, right? Where the healthy choice is the ultimately easy choice.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. You're talking about people, you're talking about policy, you're talking about, historically disadvantaged areas in town. You must have a lot on your plate. You must be dealing with a lot of different partners in the community. But you guys have a kickoff event coming up. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. So we do have our kickoff event on June 3rd. It's a free event. It's going to be at the Jacksonville Fairgrounds from 9 a.m. running till about 2 p.m. And what we're really there to do is to just have a free community well-being fellowship. So there will be vendors, there will be food, there will be presentations about blue zones throughout the day. There will be calls to action to take ownership of your health and see how you can get involved and to live better and longer. So we are so excited to be bringing this to our community. We will have a DJ, we will have performances, we will have exhibitions, we'll have all the things that you can think of in a community well-being event, just bringing community cohesion and exposing those to Blue Zones Project Jacksonville and sharing a little bit about what we're going to be up to over the next 5 years.
That sounds like a blast. Where is that going to be?
That will be at the Jacksonville Fairgrounds.
Ooh, that's going to be fun. That's a nice central location. We all know how to get towards the fairgrounds. So how is this going to be any different? And, I'm a little bit, and our audience is a little bit privileged because I do, like I said, I'm outside most of the day and I work with a lot of community gardens. And so one of your partners is Wealth Watchers, and we talk about the Duval access to healthy food, and we talk about all the great things that are going on there. But how is Blue Zones enhancing the work that's already being done in the city?
Sure, that's a great question. So we think of ourselves as a convener. We want to be the one that says, do you know what the right hand is doing, Mr. Left? And Mr. Left, do you know what's happening with Mr. Right? And really convene and create partnerships so that there really is that permanent change in our community. We are not here to reinvent. We are not here to redo, but we are here to be a toolkit and to provide some system enhancements to our current operations so that we can all thrive and be successful in our community. So that will look like many different things, right? It can look like collaborations with the YMCA. It can look like health screenings and health fairs with Mayo Clinic and UF Health. It could look like, really exposing people to what's happening in our city from a policy level and helping with advocacy and neighborhood engagement. And, this is all really being driven and supported by our lead sponsor of Baptist, who's really ensuring that we play our role as a partner and a convener, making sure that there is cohesion and systems in place for not just the project to be successful, but our communities to live their very best lives.
Yeah, we love the Baptist health system here. Victory Station is not too far from the North Campus. My mom retired from the Baptist beaches, so I love Baptist and what they do in the community in and around Jacksonville. This sounds really great. This sounds like, I just want to say I'm happy that you guys are leaving space to do the convening. It doesn't need to be someone else reinventing the wheel. The wheel is happening. We just need, the struts. We need you to put the whole house together to make sure the car is moving in the right direction. So this is excited. I'm excited. I'd like to know your thought on what a healthier community would look like in 5 years.
Oh, that is such a fun question because I think it looks different by neighborhoods.
Sure.
And I think that what Blue Zones does a really good job of is acknowledging that there are differences in neighborhoods. We know Durkeeville is not like Lakeshore, and we know Audis is not like Brentwood. So I think what a healthier community overall looks like is an opportunity that you are in a place where all of your assets, where you go to church, where you go to school, where you go to grocery shop, where you go to eat, where you go to work, are all thriving and have an environment that you feel safe, that you feel comfortable, and that you feel well in. And that's going to look different neighborhood by neighborhood, right? But I think that overall, there's this opportunity that to say that no matter where you live, no matter where you decide to lay your roots and lay your grounds, you have all that you need to live your very best life, and you don't have to go across town to have your needs met.
That sounds like a winning formula. Hopefully we can continue to press forward with the promises, in particular in Jacksonville, of consolidation. But I would love for you to reiterate where the event will be, when is it, and how people can get involved, and maybe give you some of their some tips or some opportunities to be a part of what you guys got going on.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, this is a community-driven project. So the community is the driver. So we would love as many people that want to get involved as possible. You can visit our website. It's Blue Zones Project Jacksonville.com. Our kickoff will be June 3rd at the Jacksonville Fairgrounds downtown, 510 Fairgrounds Place. It will be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It is a free event. I just want to reiterate that it is a free event. So we are welcoming anybody and everybody. At that event will be opportunities and handouts for you to get involved. But of course, our website with our newsletter, with applications to get involved in our sector committee work and really driving the execution forward are on that website. And of course, you can follow us on our social media at BZP Jacksonville on Instagram and on LinkedIn.
Woo! That was a wealth of information.
Definitely was.
Oh my goodness. So what are you thinking? What are your thoughts on the Blue Zones projects, Reverend CJ?
I would definitely say that I'm glad that they realized that not every hood is the same hood.
Yes.
Because we don't even talk the same in Palmdale and Harborview. So the fact that they're actually narrowing down the demographics and realizing that everybody has different ways that they eat, that they communicate, that they get involved. You know, you can throw a stone and you have a Baptist neighborhood right to a Pentecostal one. So like that within itself is a big dynamic. But especially when it comes to caring for seniors, you definitely want to know what is it in their area that is, focused on their health. Yeah,
they're definitely doing the work, and I appreciate, like I said, that they are not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just reaching out to the people already doing the work in the community. So if you guys like free stuff, I like free stuff. Please go check out the fairgrounds. When is it? In June from 9 to 2. But their more recent event is a lunch and learn via Zoom. So if you don't want to put your camera on, you don't have to. You can just listen in. It'll be on April 19th. For more information, BZP Jacksonville on all major social media platforms, or just look up Blue Zones Project. That's blue like the color, zones, you know how to spell that, and project. Blue Zones Project. They have a lunch and learn on Zoom coming up April 19th. And after this commercial break, we will be back with the Reverend CJ talking about what we got going on with the Kingdom Builders is building.
Yes, Kingdom Builders, we will be back right here with your impactful moments. So I'm excited for y'all to come back.
See ya. Thing don't even go the whole 29 seconds.
on the Impact Radio Show. Getting ready for your impactful moment brought to you by Kingdom Builders Initiative Group. Hey guys, we are live in person every first and third Sundays at 9:30 at 113 West 17th Street, and virtual. We are actually doing community service. Community service. So not just when you have service interest, but we try to encourage you to go out and be the kingdom. And yes, today, what I am excited to talk to you about. First off, I'm mad at y'all. Y'all still went to church in all of those checkerboard Easter suits, and nobody represented Black Jesus. So I'm mad at y'all. Y'all next holiday, y'all need to hit up the African gentleman.
I mean, it was a funeral.
It was a funeral.
So, and then there was a celebration.
It was a celebration. But anyway,
they can dress how they want to dress.
They can dress how they want to dress.
you just repeated what I said.
Yeah, I am. But today I'm going to bring y'all into a little bit of a short version of the most important funeral you will ever attend, and that is putting to death the old man. Colossians.
What old man?
The old man, that old nature that we were supposed to have put on the cross with Jesus. 1 Corinthians 5 tells us that he that knew no sin became sin.
Yes, he did.
So the one who cannot comprehend, just like we can't comprehend perfection, he that cannot see sin became that sin. So that means he took on all of our bad habits. He took on all of our bad nature. He took on all of that will to curse people out, all of that will to flirt when we ain't supposed to, all of that will to steal on himself. And that was what he crucified on that cross. And Colossians 3:5-11 tells us that we are to put that person to death. When you hear people give them testimonies, it sound like they still into it. It's like they're telling you what they used to do, but they got a glint in their eye. It ain't, man, I used to be out there in the world and doing all this. Like, girl, when I was out there, I had one coming in the back door while the other one was jumping out the window, and they got this present masquerading as a past. Or, I'm telling myself, to try Jesus, not me because I throw hands. That's keeping the old man on life support. Because when you read Romans 6, it tells us that sin is dead. We are no longer controlled by it because of Christ.
Amen.
So we are not bound to. We don't get the case that I can't help us. It's not like Flip Wilson. The devil didn't make us do it. Just when you fast forward to Romans 7, it straight up tells you that when you were married to the old man and he was put to death, so was your old nature, and you was free to find another master. Well, God provided you another master. He provided righteousness, because when he was resurrected, so was our new nature. Because those that are in Christ Jesus are a new creature. So the one thing that I will, so this is what I want you to do: put the old man to death. Because listen, the old man can't be offended. Old man can't. The dead man can't respond. So dead men can't be offended, dead men can't respond, and dead men cannot continue to breathe. The only way dead men breathe is when you resuscitate him.
That's true.
So if I could tell you anything, when people walk up to you and they tell you, hey, we remember Pookie from the block? No, you don't. Pookie dead. Do you remember Ray Ray in there from around the corner? No, you don't. Ray Ray dead. Because when you are in Christ Jesus, you are a new person. So when you are out there in life, remember, the dead man is old. The old man is dead. It is you walking newness in life. And that was your impactful moment by your Kingdom Builders.
How can they reach you, CJ?
You can find me on Facebook at African Gentleman and on Instagram at African_Gentleman13. And that's how you find your boy.
If you're interested in submitting a story to the newspaper, please contact do_and_talk on all major social media platforms, guys. We'll see you next week. We love you.
Next week should be fun.
Stay safe. See ya. Peace.
Peace.
I know, man. We were cutting it close.
And we tied. Oh, Lord. That is funny. We neither one of us said it. I just thought about it. We died.